Hey everyone, welcome back to the Easy Hard versus Hard podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you find the work that actually matters in your life. I'm very excited about today's episode because we're talking about one of my favorite chapters in the Easy Hard versus Hard book, and that's chapter 7, Taking Action. What we've talked about so far is the preamble to taking action. It's getting your ideas, your thoughts, the behaviors you want to change into a format that you're going to go after to get you out of the easy hard. So we've done the analysis and we've realized what the work we've been doing that's been the easy hard. And then maybe you're deciding that you want to go and take action and start pursuing your hard. So this is probably the hardest part in the process because it actually is going to require you to go out and do something, right? Before this, it's all been planning. It's been some thinking, some analysis, some evaluation. Sure, we talked about self-monitoring once you start making the path, but what it all comes down to is what action are you going to take? So I want to reference a quote by Pablo Picasso that says, "Action is the foundational key to all success." Again, that's action is foundational key to all success. Man, if success's foundation is action, maybe action is what we all need to take. So many of us, this is what's lacking. We have all these plans, we have all these thoughts, we have all these ideas, but we're not willing to take the action. So that's what this episode is all about. What can we do to take action? What are the simple steps we can take? What are the difficult steps that we can take to go out there and find the work that actually matters to us? Why does action matters? Like we said before, you've done the thinking, you've done the planning, you've done everything. You've mapped where you want to go, but none of that means anything if you don't take the first step. A journey of a thousand leagues begins with a first step. Well, this is what this episode's about, taking that first step, taking all your self-doubt, self-fear, self-anxiety, and making a movement to the life you want to live, to the work you want to do, to getting to the work that actually matters to you. If you don't take this first step, all of it, I'm not going to say it's for naught because maybe you're not ready. As I've said before, if you're not ready to do the work, don't do the work. This is where you decide, am I ready to do the work? Because if you don't do anything and you just keep thinking about it and planning, you're never going to go anywhere. I often like to say that 10x of zero is still zero. So this is where you got to really take responsibility, take the initiative, and go out there and move towards the life that you want to go. Again, this isn't about doing more. This is about doing something. You've obviously are busy chasing the easy hard, going about your everyday life, but there's something inside you that wants to change. There's something that has brought you to this point in the podcast or to this chapter in the book. What is that? Is it enough to drive you? Is it enough for you to go out there and start taking the action? I've thought about losing weight for many years, but it wasn't until I took that first run, and that first run turned into the second run, that progress started to be seen. If you're trying to obtain a degree, it's not until you complete the first class or enroll in the first class before you see something. Thinking about it is not the same as doing it. And taking action is sadly one of the things I see that most people are not doing. We need to take action. And that's what this podcast is all about. I know you know this, but we're going to hit home. Before you take action, though, make sure you're doing the right work. You don't want to go down another easy, hard path. You don't want to go do something for the approval of others. Make sure it's for you. For a lot of reasons. Number one, doing the work for the approval of others really gets you nowhere. It leaves you empty. It leaves you frustrated. It's hard to stay motivated, stay inspired. But two, you've got to do the right work because the action that you take may not be easy. It wasn't easy that first run that I took. It wasn't easy for months. I mean, I can't remember back that long, but I'm sure there were days where it wasn't easy 6-7 months into it. The thing is you got to just keep doing it. The key to action is start, but then also be consistent about it. Just keep going. But if you know the work that matters to you and it's the right work for you, all of it will fall in line. I promise you. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but let's say you take action for 6 months. Will you be more satisfied with where you are in 6 months than where you are today? Think about that after a year. Think about it after 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Now is the time, once you identify the work that's right for you, start taking the action and see those results pile up. See the progress that you make and observe how you feel, because doing the right work is the key, but also doing the work to get you to the right work is the key. I know that's a little bit of a tongue twister. I don't want to say that 5 times fast. So again, part of taking action, doing the right work. I also like to bring in the accountability factor more into the taking action, because so many of us, it's the first time we're doing a new behavior, a new action, a new work. So we may need the encouragement of others. Again, make sure your accountability partner is not there to give advice. The accountability partner is merely there to urge you on, someone that you can say, hey, I checked this off my list today, something to keep you going. Because a lot of times these efforts that we do, they're lonely. It's only you doing this for you. Find someone who shares this with you, shares the enthusiasm, is there along the way. It can be as simple as the example I've given before. Just send a text to someone, I did it. Or I didn't do it today, we'll get back on that track tomorrow. Again, having someone that you account to and that you're accountable to is going to probably help you in the long run. Now, some of you don't need this. And if you don't need it, don't. Great. Go out there and just start taking action and see what happens. But for those of you who don't, which I think is the vast majority of people that at least I've talked to and interacted with over the last 5 years, they need someone. That's why a lot of these group classes, fitness classes are so popular these days. People need to be seen doing what they say they're going to do. Now, if you're not that type of person, don't do it. But again, I still think an accountability partner is helpful. I personally am one of these people that don't need accountability partners, but yet at the same time, I like having a couple of them out there in a very simple format, just not only for me, but it also helps them too, right? If they see you out there doing this day in and day out, taking the action, they may be doing the same thing. It may be a two-way street in this case. So find the right accountability partner. And again, this partner should not be an advice giver. You don't want someone to judge you or create more self-doubt or put obstacles in your way. This is your path. This is your way to get there. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn as you go. A lot of the things I did 5 years ago, I don't do anymore. But that's all part of the learning process. You don't want someone in your life, though, that's going to discount what you're doing, discourage you from what you're doing, or prevent you from going forward. Again, use the self-monitoring, use your intuition. If you're pushing too hard or you're doing things wrong or as new information is learned, you can make changes. But again, you don't want your accountability partner to be your judge. You're going to judge yourself enough. And I hope you get to the point where you don't. And eventually, I believe everyone will, because action will lead to mind opening and get your thoughts will be so different and a very short order of time, but getting that ball rolling is all it needs. So you don't need someone in your life to come and take after you and take that away from you. I mean, in order to take action, the first step may be difficult, right? Mark Twain said, in 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the things you did do. That quote resonates with me. Because if you don't do it, or you keep saying tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do it after Christmas, or I'll do it after the new year, today is end of October. That's 2 months of not taking action. And as we talked about before, the longer you delay action, the more your brain will protect you and say, oh, I didn't do it now, or I didn't do it then, so why do it now? It's going to be harder and harder and harder. But again, if you don't take action, if this is truly something that you've identified that you want to do, you don't take action today, you're going to regret that down the road. I can't tell you how many people come and tell me, well, I wanted to lose weight, but this, excuse. Some of them are valid. Some of them are real reasons and not excuses. But at the same time, most people live with regret. Ask yourself today, do I want to live with regret? or do I want to start taking the action to get me to where I want to go? In doing so, I laid out initial step to taking action. So the first is pick just one action. Okay. And this is where you can get your accountability partner involved and say, hey, I'm going to take this one action. And let's just keep using the example of fitness. You want to get in shape. Say, I'm going to run a mile. So tell your accountability partner and every day text them, mile ran, completed, whatever. Keep it simple, keep it short, but just do it right there, right? And then make sure whatever action you block time for it. Because so many of us say, I don't have time for something, but if it's important enough for you, you'll make time for it. Whether that's a calendar or waking up a few minutes early, going to bed a couple minutes later, whatever it takes for you to do it, make sure you block the time, because action without a plan will most often fail. So put something, a reminder to you, sticky note on your mirror, whatever it takes, whatever most resonates with you. I don't know. Everyone is different. But make time for the action you want to take. And then I encourage you, every time you take the action, reflect on how you felt. Even if it hurt, even if it was painful, even if it was difficult, make sure you reflect on it. See how you feel differently. Do you feel differently from showing up, from doing it, from trying it? The more you reflect on it, it builds positive momentum and it builds, encouragement. It helps you win the days you don't want to. And you can draw on that for your self-motivation, but it will certainly start inspiring you. The more you do it, imagine you run a mile for 2-3 weeks, a month, and then you run 2 miles and then 3 miles. And I don't think we need to overmeasure or get too wrapped around the metrics, but imagine how you'd feel after you complete your first 3 miles. Put yourself in that. Take your reflection to both appreciate what you've done and then slightly envision what you're going to do, because you're going to keep putting the action in for it. So take that reflection time. And then the most important part about this initial step is repeat it. Repeat it daily, every other day. Whatever your plan is, make sure you complete it. Commit to the action. Commit to it. You're not going to know the results if you try it for a week and then stop and then restart and then stop. You're eventually your body's going to tell you, your mind's going to tell you, well, this isn't working. Well, you don't know. We talked about it in a previous episode. So many people stop. How about if you're one rep, one run away, one phone call away from getting what you want to do? So don't stop. Make sure you repeat this action. Eventually, you're going to know. Like I said, sometimes we take the wrong path, but make sure you've exhausted it. Make sure you've done everything you've done, and then make that decision. Don't start by taking an action, reflect, say, oh, that hurt a little bit, and not do it the next day. I'm not advocating that anyone go out there and hurt themselves. Don't get me wrong. But I think most people are capable of doing more than they think they are. We live our lives in comfort, and easy hard is comfort. Eventually, hard will become comfort and freedom. But in order to do it, we have to get rid of all the bad habits, all the inactivity, all the excuses, all the things that drew us into the easy hard, where you got to eliminate them. And sometimes elimination is painful. So just keep repeating it. So there's your initial plan. So pick the action, get an accountability partner, text accountability partner, reflect, and then repeat that action and see what happens. I think over time, you're going to see this really, really blossom into something special and something that you wish you had done a while ago. Another point in the book that I like to talk about is the whole concepts of birds of a feather flock together. When you start making changes, there are going to be people in your life that don't accept those changes, or they believe that it impacts their lives. If you're going to spend more time going to the gym or going back to school, you're going to have less time for social engagements and this kind of thing. Make sure that you balance those. Get some harmony with those people, and then decide, are they right for you or not? So many in the kind of groupthink mentality try to bring everyone down to their level, and this isn't the time for it. So One of the downsides of chasing your heart is you may have to reassess some of your friends, and you may have to change some of your associations. You may have to do things differently. But the last thing you want to do, especially in the initial time of taking action, is have others come after you and tear you down. It's going to be hard enough, but you can do it. Having people around you that tell you you can't is going to influence your mind, it's going to influence your actions, and now is not the time for it. As you mature on your process, sure, you can have a little bit more of those kind of people in your life, but initially just take a stock. And I'm not saying get rid of all your friends, because if we all know that part of my whole platform and my thinking now is to bring love and enjoy to everyone. But if you can't, if they are impeding on your joy, your love, your purpose, your passion, your pursuit of the heart, then you are not going to be able to show up for them. And chances are that negative influence is going to weigh heavier on you than your positive influence is going to weigh on them. So keep that in mind while you're doing this, and really don't let someone's inaction prevent you from taking action. All right, so that's kind of a lot. That's a little bit of primer on taking action. And most simply put, though, if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. That's the bottom line up front. You have got to decide, whether it's today, tomorrow, whenever, I'm going to do something. I'm going to go out and do it. And then remove all the obstacles, all the excuses. Go out there and make your life better. Imagine 5 years ago, me weighing at 354 pounds. I didn't think I can do it. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a long shot. I had tried so many times and failed, gone back up, lost weight, yo-yo dieting, those sort of things. It wasn't until I took my mind and said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I get to do. This is what I want to do. How big is your want to? My dad used to tell me that all the time as a kid. And, with a child's brain, I didn't really think about it, or, I thought it was just something he said to either, inspire me or motivate me to do something I didn't want to do. But that's so true. How big is your want to? How bad do you want your heart? I know many of you, I've talked to you over the last few weeks, months, even the last year. So many people want to make a change. Well, let's make today the day. Let's start with actions. I'm here for you. If you need help, if you need me to be your accountability partner, email me. Bobby Shelton at easyhardversushardhard.com. I'm here for you. I know you can do it. Maybe you need a battle buddy, as we used to say in the Army, for the first little bit. I'll gladly do it for you. Because the whole point of finding your heart and the work that matters to you is that you don't get caught in despair. You know that life is worth living. And once you get that, it's going to be infectious. I want this to be a movement. I want every single person that listens to this to make a change and then help change others, because people are going to witness your change. People are going to be impressed with you. And that's not, to get you back into finding the approval of others, but think of it as an example. Think of it as something that you can use to then help others better themselves. And if we're all better in ourselves, imagine a world where we all were going after the work that matters to us. A lot of the hate, the discord, the bickering, all the things that bother us day in and day out, they'd be eliminated, because we'd all be so focused on what we're doing and making ourselves better and making the world better. All of that will just fall away. An old hymn that we used to sing in church said, the things of earth will grow strangely dim. Finding your heart, taking the action to achieve your heart, all other things will become dim. All the things that have been preventing you before will become less important. All of the obstacles that maybe you've placed in your way or allowed others to place in your way will go away. Now's the time. Take action. Go out there and find it. I hope this was informative to you and that something I said resonated with you. And if it resonated with you, please send it to a friend who may need the same help. But again, I'll say it one more time. All of this is for naught if you don't take the action. I can't do it for you. If I could, I would, but it's going to take you. I know you can do it. There's nothing special about me. I just finally figured it out. I was so tired of being the person I didn't want to be that I gave myself the courage. I gave myself the permission to take action, and I know you can too. So again, thank you for listening. Please share it with someone. If you want more on this topic, the Easy Hard versus Hard book is available on Amazon. I also write a weekly newsletter on Substack. You can hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm on some of the other social media platforms, all under the Easy Hard versus Hard name. And again, feel free to reach out to me. I really want to be your guide. I want to help you get to where you want to go. And if we can all get there together, just what a wonderful world it would be. All right, I know I said that many times, but I so believe it. And I know there's promise, there's hope. I just spent the last week with a bunch of college students, and I see the hope and the thinking around, chasing work that matters to them early on in their career. I wish I would have been that focused and that determined in my 20s than I am in my 40s. I don't know if I was ready for that information. Again, don't do the work until you're ready to do the work, but the more we know now, the better it'll serve us in the future. Well, thanks everyone for listening. As always, I'm Bobby Shelton. And until next time, keep chasing your heart hard and finding the work that actually matters in your life.